Hello everyone, how are you all? Now today we are going to start with your third module or for your financial institutions and markets. Now in this particular module we are specifically going to talk about your financial markets, your commodities, derivatives, insurance and your mutual funds. Now basically, let us start with the first part. What is your financial market? Now basically the word financial market, it includes two words together, that is finance and market. And then when I'm talking about your financial markets, where the financial transactions are taken place, where the financial assets can be termed, or all those particular things which can be centered where buying and selling of the financial assets are being taken place, that is called to be as your financial markets. Now first of all, in this particular when I was discussing about the financial market, I discussed about something called to be as financial asset. Now a financial asset is one thing which is used for production, consumption and for further creation of the assets. यानी एक फाइनेंस एसेट के लिए एसेट वाइज यूज किया जाता है, जहाँ पर इट कैन बी क्रिएटिंग अ काइंड ऑफ अ मार्केट, इट कैन बी क्रिएटिंग एज अ एसेट, इट इज यूज्ड एज अ फाइनेंशियल एसेट विच कैन बी क्लासिफाइड इनटू टू कैटेगरीज, मार्केटेबल एसेट्स एंड नॉन मार्केटेबल एसेट्स. जब मैं मार्केटेबल एसेट्स की बात करती हूँ, जो इजीली मार्केट्स में अवेलेबल है, जो मार्केट में ट्रांजेक्शन्स किया जाता है, दैट आर योर शेयर्स, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, बॉन्ड्स एंड म्यूचुअल फंड, जो अभी मैंने कहा. एंड उसके अलावा कुछ नॉन मार्केटेबल एसेट्स होते हैं विच इज कॉल्ड टू बी एज बैंक डिपॉजिट्स, योर प्रोविडेंट फंड्स एंड योर LIC schemes. Now when I'm talking about your marketable assets, इसमें the assets which are easily transferred from one person to another without any obstacle, as your, for example, just now we talked about your shares, government securities, bonds, mutual funds, these or any particular bearer debentures and all, these are called to be as a marketable assets. Non-marketable assets, the assets which cannot be easily transferred, such as your bank deposits, your pension funds, your provident funds, these things cannot be easily be marketable. That is why they are called to be as a non-marketable asset. Now further, let us talk about your marketable assets. Now your marketable assets can be financial, or I can say financial market can be further divided into your organized market and unorganized market. अभी ऑर्गेनाइज मार्केट में क्या आता है? योर कैपिटल मार्केट, योर मनी मार्केट एंड कैपिटल मार्केट विच कैन फर्दर बी डिवाइडेड इनटू इंडस्ट्रियल सिक्योरिटीज, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, long term loans. When you are talking about your industrial securities, we are talking about the primary securities and the secondary securities. फिर वापस से अगर मैं लॉन्ग टर्म लोन्स की बात करूँ तो टर्म लोन्स हो जाता है, मार्केट फॉर द मॉर्गेजेस हो जाता है, मार्केट फॉर द फाइनेंशियल गारंटर्स हो जाता है. और एट द सेम टाइम अगर मैं मनी मार्केट की बात करूँ तो कॉल फॉर मनी, कॉमर्शियल बिल्स, शॉर्ट टर्म मनी, शॉर्ट टर्म लोन्स. और आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड मार्केट. सो अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड मार्केट में कौन आ जाता है? योर मनी इन्वेस्टर्स, योर इंडिजीनियस बैंक्स एंड लैंडलॉर्ड्स. सो बेसिकली अगर मैं अपने आप को ऑर्गेनाइज्ड और अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड मार्केट में डिवाइड करूँ तो वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट योर कैपिटल मार्केट, your money market, money investors, indigenous banks and the landlords. Now unorganized market is not a kind of a planned market, जिसके अंदर कोई प्लानिंग नहीं होती. There is lack of rules and regulation, there is lack of government control, there is lack of government interference. It includes a number of money lenders. बहुत सारे outside the money के बहुत सारे lenders होते हैं. They are all the indigenous banks होते हैं, landlords होते हैं, जो which are being when I'm talking about they collect deposits from the public. They easily at the private financing they are giving at a different rate of interest and everything. The companies come under this particular sector, which where even the few of the private sector they do fall under this. RBI takes this particular step to bring the private finance companies and the indigenous banks under this its strict rules or control by issuing non-banking financial companies. ना ये क्या है, अनऑर्गेनाइज मार्केट्स को प्रॉपर चैनलाइज करवाना, उनको प्रॉपरली ऑर्गेनाइज करवाना, उसको प्रॉपरली कंट्रोल करवाना, वो हमारे जो इंडिजिनियस बैंक्स की मैंने बात की या इंटरमीडिएट मनी इन्वेस्टर्स की बात करी, लैंडलॉर्ड्स की बात करी, तो इसको RBI दे डू टेक ओवर दैट दे आर बीन बॉट टुगेदर एंड दे आर बीन कंट्रोल्ड. Now further, if I want to talk about your organized market, which is actually in a very much organized manner, it is having a standardized rules and regulation, which is governed by the financial transaction, which is governed by the government rules and regulation. So when these are the things under the organized market, they have a proper channelizing of the money. In this, we are going to talk about your capital market, your money market, your primary market, secondary market. Under this thing or many other finance sectors are being discussed about. Let us first discuss about your industrial securities market. जब industrial securities market की बात होती है तो these market deals with the equity, preferences, equity shares, preferences, debentures, bonds, etc. So basically this market where the industries raise their capital and debt by issuing appropriate instruments, then that is called to be as industrial securities market. हमारे simple एक language में याद रखना, आप लोगों का जितने भी equity share holdings होता है, आपके preference शेयर होल्डिंग्स होता है, आपका डिबेंचर शेयर होल्डिंग्स होता है, सो उन सब का कहाँ पर आता है, दे आर फॉलोइंग अंडर द क्राइटेरिया ऑफ योर इंडस्ट्रियल सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट. Next is your government securities market. When I'm talking about the government securities market, it is called to be as a gilt-edged securities market. अब इसको क्यों gilt-edged securities market बोला जाता है? Because in this market only the government securities are traded. As the term says, government securities market. Only the securities which are authorized by the government, they are being issued, and they are basically being issued by the central government or the state government or any other government authorities like the port trust or a public sector organization. So these are the different securities which are being holding or bearing the bonds or your promissory notes or stock certificates, all those things. Now next is your long term loans market, जहाँ पर your capital market does not fall into a deal or deals with a short term period, but it deals with a commercial bank which is developing for a longer period of time, which is going to be called as your term loans. हम लोगों ने जब बात की थी टर्म लोन्स मार्केट की बात की थी, या हम लोगों ने मार्केट फॉर द मॉर्गेजेस की बात की थी, मार्केट फॉर द फाइनेंशियल गारंटीज की बात की थी, जो लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम मोर देन 10 to 15 years ऑफ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के लिए जाता है, उसको लॉन्ग टर्म मार्केट बोला जाता है. Now further talking about the types of financial markets. जब मैं फाइनेंशियल टाइप्स ऑफ फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स की बात करती हूँ, सबसे पहले हमारा आता है स्टॉक मार्केट. दिस स्टॉक मार्केट बेसिकली हमको क्या प्रोवाइड करता है, दे प्रोवाइड अस विद द फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस, इशुएंस ऑफ द शेयर्स ऑफ द कॉमन स्टॉक और द एनेबल्स ऑफ द सब्सिक्वेंट ट्रेडिंग ऑफ द बिजनेस, ट्रेडिंग ऑफ द मनी फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर, एंड उसके पूरा आपको एज अ पब्लिक यू कैन इजीली परचेज एंड सेल ऑफ दोज नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स ऑफ द कंपनी, बी इट एनी टाइप्स ऑफ शेयर्स, इक्विटी और प्रेफरेंस. उसके बाद आता है बॉन्ड मार्केट. बॉन्ड मार्केट बेसिकली दे प्रोवाइड फाइनेंसिंग थ्रू द इशुएंस ऑफ बॉन्ड्स एंड एनेबल द सब्सिक्वेंट ट्रेडिंग. उसके बाद शेयर्स के बाद जब नेक्स्ट लेवल पे आता है वो बॉन्ड ट्रेडिंग होता है या बॉन्ड मार्केट होता है. कमोडिटी मार्केटर्स विच फैसिलिटेट द ट्रेडिंग ऑफ कमोडिटीज की बात करेंगे तो वहाँ पे वो कमोडिटी मार्केट बोला जाता है. मनी मार्केट विच प्रोवाइड अ शॉर्ट टर्म फाइनेंसिंग एंड इन्वेस्टिंग, जो हम छोटे छोटे टर्म पीरियड के लिए करते हैं उसको मनी मार्केट में डेरिवेट करता है. Derivatives market which provide instruments for management of the financial risk, उसको risk management भी और बोला जाता है, जो हम लोग derivative मार्केट फ्लक्चुएट हो सकता है, उस हिसाब से आपको फंड्स मिल सकते हैं, that is why it is called to be as a derivative market. Future market मतलब which provides a kind of standardized forward contract for the trading products of the some future period of time. आज की तारीख पे आपका कोई डिमांड नहीं है, आज की तारीख पे आपका कोई मार्केट नहीं है, बट फ्यूचर पीरियड में आपका डिमांड बढ़ सकता है, आपके मार्केट में स्टेबिलिटी बढ़ सकती है, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड टू बी एज अ फ्यूचर मार्केट, एंड ऑन दैट बेसिस पीपल आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन दैट. इंश्योरेंस मार्केट विच फैसिलिटेट्स द रेट्रीब्यूशन or redistribution of the various risk. मैं आज के टाइम पे मैं अपने आप को इंश्योर कर रही हूँ सो दैट अगर मुझे फ्यूचर में कुछ हो जाएगा तो यू आर गोइंग टू पे मी फॉर द सेम. दैट इज कॉल्ड टू बी एज योर इंश्योरेंस मार्केट. फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मार्केट जहाँ पे विच फैसिलिटेट्स द फॉरेन मनी और इनफ्लो एंड आउटफ्लो ऑफ द फॉरेन एक्सचेंज, दैट इज कॉल्ड टू बी एज फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मार्केट्स. The capital market, again when I'm talking about the capital market, this is having a primary market and a secondary market, which for actually this is having a new formation which is brought over for the selling and purchasing of the existing securities and all, so which can be depending upon the capital of a particular company or the investors, depending upon the type of transactions they are doing, that is called to be as a primary or your secondary market or the capital market. Now raising the capital, अभी हम सबको पता है कि if in the market if I want to raise the capital, I will be needing funds from the people. People are investing. Now without the finance, you won't be able to run your business. So for that reason you have intermediaries. Now basically these intermediaries can be any of these particular investors, these can be any of the banks, any of the lenders, even the government or any other depositors who popularly they frame out their market in such a manner that people are ready, they give a commitment that in future they will get a particular kind of return, and on that basis they are raising the capital from the public and trying to invest into the different industries for a long period of time. So basically it is just that the raising the capital, it has been done at times by the companies themselves also, and even by the money lenders also, even by the financial institution also. Now when I'm talking about a money market is a market for financial assets that are close substitutes or a subscriptions of the money for the money. It means to say जहाँ पे मुझे शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए इमीडिएटली मुझे पैसा चाहिए होगा, these are the institutions which are dealing with the various grades of the near money. जहाँ से भी छोटा जहाँ से भी पैसा आ सके उसको कलेक्ट करो और जा करके पब्लिक को पैसा दो. That is why it is having a primary or a secondary, कि जहाँ पे मुझे इमीडिएटली पैसा मिल सकता है या मुझे लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के लिए. So these intermediaries, they try to facilitate the market in such a manner that can easily raise the money in such a manner which can help it out for the people to run out their business. Now feature, basically अगर मैं एक feature बोलूँ कि money market का feature क्या है, so it is this market is purely for a short period of time for the funds or the financial assets closed, which can be called as a near money, जहाँ पे immediately short period के लिए आपको पैसा दिया जाता है, आपके money को utilize किया जाता है and redistribute किया जाता है. So it is a short term fund. Now it deals with the financial assets having a maturity period less than 1 year only. So short period में अभी पहले तो फिर भी 5 years का period था, अभी तो now it has been come to the level of 1 year. one year में आपको return फटाफट आपको return मिलता जा रहा है. So that is why it is a short term period. Now these money markets, they carry out the transaction which take place formal, like your stock exchange or through your communication or through the relevant documents or other transactions which will be conducting as a help to the brokers to generate more and more money. So उनकी assurity, उनकी reliability towards the documentation is such nature कि yes, there is a more of confidence of getting money out of the public. Now it is not a single market where it is just dealing in the one particular manner only, but they have a sub markets also. They can call be as a call money market or acceptance or bill market, जिसके अंदर छोटे areas है through which there is no one particular. All I just want to say कि एक जगह से पैसा नहीं आता, but different ways में थोड़ा पैसा सबके जहाँ से आता है. Now the component of your money market, when I'm saying, they are your commercial banks, acceptance houses, your non-banking financial companies. So सब जगह से ये सारे intermediaries हमें पैसा लाके देते हैं, and these are the components, these are the different, just like that I can say कि octopus के जिस तरह बहुत सारे hands होते हैं, उसी तरह से ये money market के अंदर हर जगह से you are generating a short term fund. Now it is a wholesale market for short term debt instruments, जहाँ पे आपको छोटे पीरियड के लिए क्विकली मनी मिलेगा, जहाँ पे होलसेल की तरह आपको है ना बाइंग एंड परचेसिंग शुरू होती है. So even that is the risk is more, but at the same time the chances of recovering money, because people do want their money for a longer time. So for that reason they find it very much comfortable when it comes to the putting their money for a short period of time. That is why getting your money out of this short terms is very much easy. Now it is a need for the based market when there is a demand for the supply of money, for a क्विक मनी आई कैन से, जिसको एक पर्टिकुलर शेप में, पर्टिकुलर बिजनेस में इजी वे आउट में पुटअप कर रहे हैं. सो जब मुझे अगर बहुत सारा पैसा चाहिए और मुझे क्विकली चाहिए, सो इन दैट एंड जिसका रिटर्न मुझे पता है कि आई कैन गिव दैट द रिटर्न इन अ शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, then this particular money market is going to have a very much useful nature in the market, in the finance market. Now when I am talking about your functions of the money market, basically they are financing trade. They are basically dealing with the generating money. They are the commercial financial institution which will make availability of the money in any which ways they want to try. So जहाँ से भी जिस better way में commercial business को motivate करवाने के लिए जहाँ से भी better way में finance आ सकेगा, they will try to generate that money for you. Financing industry. So जितनी स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रीज है उनकी ग्रोथ करवाने के लिए, उनको एक स्टेबिलिटी करवाने के लिए, उनको एक प्रोडक्टिविटी लाने के लिए उसको ये these finances are provided to these industries. Now even the profitable investment, these kind of investment, short and very much secure. मुझे पता है इतने एक साल के बाद मुझे इतना रिटर्न आने वाला है. So basically money market is considered to be a profitable market in a short period of time. जितना आपको प्रॉफिट एक शॉर्ट पीरियड में मिल सकता है उतना कोई नहीं दे सकता है, इसलिए मनी मार्केट इज बीन कंसर्न. Then yourself, it is a kind of your self-sufficient of the commercial bank. Self-sufficient of the commercial bank का मतलब होता है these are the areas, ये commercial banks के through very much quickly, वहाँ पे आपको बहुत ज़्यादा procedure, documentation and all those situation which might not be self-sufficient in that sense, but as compared to money market is very much self-sufficient easily. Even the you don't have to approach to any other hand, they can directly, all your requirements are fulfilled over here. Help to central bank. At times your money market do help the central bank for generating money, because even when they are not able to influence the banking system to generate money or to give the development of the money market, then in that case it also helps the central bank to increase the efficiency of the central bank for the functioning of the circulation of the money. Moving ahead, I even want to say there are many various financial institutions which deals in the short-term loan in the money market, and they are its members. Now, for some of them are like your central bank, your commercial bank, your non-bank financial intermediaries, your discount houses, your bill brokers. These are even your acceptance houses. What are these? Are all the members of this money market. They actually function and they actually help it out to provide mechanism to achieve the equilibrium between the demand and supply of the fund. They actually help to, this money market help to allocate the short term fund through their intermediaries of the transaction of the money and to increase the outflow of the money. It even it is basically, I can just say that economic development में एक development का money market का बहुत important role है. Now even the RBI has actually made some monetary policies which is very much effective for implementation of your money market. It has help the money market to liquidate its economy. Liquidate मतलब easy cash flow of the money. So actually the money market has created a very much high demand in the market, and they have taken a deep stance in the financial sector. Now, the Indian money market, basically your Indian money market can be divided into, structure of the Indian money market can be divided into two parts, जहाँ पे मैं organized market and unorganized market की बात करूँ. So organized market में कौन आता है? Call and notice money market, then your treasury bill markets, then your commercial bills and your certificate of deposit CD जिसको बोला जाता है. Money markets mutual funds आता है, repos market आता है, DFHI होता है. Then unorganized में कौन कौन होता है? Your indigenous bankers होते हैं, money lenders होते हैं. So what are these? These are basically nothing बट द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ, जो मैंने कहा जिस तरह से ऑक्टोपस के डिफरेंट हैंड्स होते हैं, उसी तरह से ये हमारे मनी मार्केट के अंदर डिफरेंट हैंड्स है थ्रू विच दे आर रनिंग इन द मार्केट एंड प्रोवाइडिंग द इनफ्लो एंड आउटफ्लो ऑफ द मनी. Now, having talked about your money market, let us now discuss about the second financial market, that is your capital market. Now, when I'm talking about a capital market is for your securities, that is your debts and your equity, where the business entrepreneurs, or you can say your companies and the government can raise money for a long term period of time. Long term funds को generate करने के लिए हम capital market use करते हैं. Now basically it is defined as a market which takes place on the other markets, that is your money market and the other markets, or even your foreign market or the stock market, and they try to create, or a bond market, and they try to regulate money for a long period of time. So ये जब छोटे छोटे मार्केट से पैसा इकट्ठा करके जब अपने पास लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए यूज करता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड टू बी एज अ कैपिटल मार्केट. नाउ कैपिटल मार्केट कैन आल्सो बी क्लासिफाइड एज योर प्राइमरी मार्केट्स एंड सेकेंडरी मार्केट्स. Now, in the primary markets, there are new stocks and bonds issued are sold to investors via a mechanism of known as your underwriters. So underwriters जब अपने through जब new market के अंदर new stocks and bonds के अंदर invest करते हैं, तो उसे बोलते हैं primary market. In the secondary market, now the existing securities and the are being sold and being bought among the investors or the traders, and usually is the securities exchange, usually by the security exchange and there over the counter and even by the financial institution. So basically क्या होता है, प्राइमरी के अंदर जब न्यू मार्केट के अंदर न्यू बॉन्ड्स एंड सिक्योरिटीज आती हैं, पीपल आर नॉट नोन अबाउट दैट पर्टिकुलर बॉन्ड्स एंड सिक्योरिटीज, सो उसको कौन खरीदता है, अंडरराइटर्स खरीदते हैं. सेकेंडरी वो कहाँ पे, आउट ऑफ दी इन द मार्केट ओपनली वो सोल्ड ऑफ होता है, क्रॉस द टेबल वो सोल्ड ऑफ हो जाता है, उसको तो स्टॉक मार्केट या कोई भी उसको परचेज कर लेता है. So that is your secondary capital market. Now moving further, the capital market basically means a market in which the financial securities are traded between the individual and the institution.